This is your man George Page coming to you live on YouTube. Anyway, tonight is one of the biggest events coming up on UFC. It's 239 UFC, and where is that? I know it's on the UFC 239, but on the main card and the co-main event is these two people. One, as we call him, John Jones, aka John Bones Jones, aka John Juicy Jones, aka Can't Get Right, and his stablemate from the accursed Jackson Winkle John Jim, when Holly, the preacher's daughter's home. Now, John is the main event is he's facing Brazilian lightweight, light heavyweight Thiago Santos, and Holly is the co-main event, and she's fighting for the women's 135 title against Amanda the Lion Ass Nunes. Now, as we all know, both um, Jones and Holmes are part of, Jackson Wickler John Gym, which we all call it the accursed gym. Anybody outside of these two, no one really has the best records. There's a lot of losses, and part of that gym, not just including John and Holly, but also you have Michelle Waterson, or AKA Michelle Waterhead, and these two are have something in common. They're both going to be fighting on the main card at 239. They're both fighting Brazilians, and for John, this is his third title. It's actually his second title defense since he regained the lightweight title around the end of last year him and Gustafsson was fighting on the 232 card in December, along with Amanda and Chris Cyborg. This is gonna be the second card that John Jones is gonna be sharing with Amanda Nunes. As you know, Amanda Nunes, the Lioness Queen, is the double champion. She beat Cyborg for the 145 title, and she has been retaining the 135 title. Last time she fought, she fought for the title when she fought Raquel Pele Pennington, and that's been since the middle of last year. And this is going to be her second defense of the title since that time. Amanda, she's not really what we call a fighting champ. I mean, you know, she's about the money. That's what she is. She's about the money. She, I think she fought last year maybe at the most. See, well, last year I think she only fought counting Cyborg and Raquel Pennington. She only fought two fights last year, and this is the middle of the year right now because it's the seventh. It's the kind of middle of the year, and it's gonna be her first fight of the year. And then they want to push, and maybe she fights Cyborg if Cyborg win. I'm not saying if when Cyborg defeats Felicia Spencer, and possibly they're supposed to be having a match for the 145 title, a rematch, which is fair. Cyborg deserves a rematch. But anyway, John Jones is facing Thiago Santos. I've seen Thiago fought last year. We fought Eric Anders, and he really, but Anders, he took that fight in the last minute, and and I think about the second round, the third round when, I think the end of the second round when Santos hit Anders with a shot, and Anders just couldn't really recover. The boy had to quit on his stool. Well, as you know, you see for here, you see the double champ, and the I think is truthfully is the great white hype for the for UFC's women division and the problem is that this talks that when they did the weigh-ins, they just didn't look right. They just really drained. Amanda, she's younger than Holly. I think Amanda's like 32, 33, and making weight's kind of hard. We try to get, and Amanda's like 160 something walking around. And Holly, a little dainty lady. She's a good maybe 160, about 170. Being she, as you remember, Holly was a former boxer back in the day. She fought as a flyweight, and then when it was a flyweight, I think she was a flyweight or welterweight, one of the two. And when she was a professional boxer, and you know, she's getting up there now. She's 37. She's been competing in combat sports for over 20 years, and that really really can take a toll on the body. And making weight for 135 is really a drain. I mean, she might be better off doing 145 instead of 135. I mean, if you're like about 20 pounds from your weight limit and you got to drop to about 30 pounds the weight limit, that's not good. And especially for a woman, it's hard to recover physically when you got to drop that much weight in an amount of time. And they should be fighting for the 145 title, but the truth is the UFC is really trying to save that for possibly a future Cyborg versus Nunes fight. But if the thing is, people are saying a lot of people got put in the hype around Holly that she gonna bring out a miracle head kick and like she did with Ronda Rousey when she won the title from her. But sadly but spoken, I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm probably hoping because you know what, I'm not a big fan of Amanda Nunes, so I'm not really a big fan of Holly either. But with Truth with Holly, it was more like a push from the UFC. They, when she beat Ronda Rousey, they didn't like her too much. But now because Ronda's gone, there's not really a lot of I'm truthfully is top flight Caucasian females in the especially American in the bantamweight division right now with Ronda gone, Misha Tate retired, Kat Zingano she pretty much half past dead, you know, and generally that's who's getting a lot of support from the UFC. That's Holly because she's what we call the right height. She's what the white fanboy simps like. The blonde, blue-eyed goddess coming in there, but she's a little bit, best way to say it, she's a bit, you know, battle beaten. And Madeline Nunes, who hadn't really took a lot of, you know, a lot of, damage other than the fight time she fought Kat Zingano, you know, she's pretty much still, going strong. And more likely she's gonna retain the title, unless, like I said, we all know Amanda has kind of a slightly a weak gas tank. She's just the stamina's not as that good. So if Holly can survive the first 3 rounds, or maybe survive some of her best shots, you know, she can probably take it to fourth round, maybe even win with a fifth round decision. Or if she can pull off her miracle head kicks, that's a possibility. But the thing is, Holly needs to stop doing the same thing she did. It's calling her shots. Stop making that, like, yeah. You just keep your mouth closed. Don't you be you're too predictable. And like I say, like we talk about on CS Combat Sports, she's just has not adapted and changed her format. She's using the same stuff she did when she was a kickboxer, and and since her it's a mess. She's just using you have to adapt and change. You have an opponent who's a superior knockout. Amanda has powerful hands. I mean, she knocked out Cyborg. And Cyborg has taken some big shots from people like, Marlos Conan and Gina Carano and a couple of women in her weight class. And Amanda, she just was able to pull off the upset of the century to me. But I don't think Holly's gonna pull off an upset. If it is, it's gonna be by miracle. If she, like I said again, if she can take Holly survive to the third round, and she gets to the fourth or fifth round, and surprise her with a headshot kick, that's a possibility. If she can do like Valentina did to Jessica, that's a possibility. But it's not neither here and there. But anyway, also on the 239 card is Ronda Markos versus Claudia Gadelha. Now I'm going with Christ. I like Ronda Markos. I like her style. She's pretty cool. And she really been the last few years gets shitted on really hard by UFC. It wasn't that long ago. She did an interview with my man Coach Shelton Harrison where she talked about how she was told that she had to fight or get dropped, and she was injured, and she had no choice. She had to work, but she went in the fight, and even though she didn't win, it was a draw that pretty much saved her. And Claudia Gadelha, she's been on a sleepy slope the past few couple of years since she lost to Joanna, and then her recent lost to Anzaroff, and then she was just pretty much dominated by Jessica Andrade. She could have won that fight, but then the mistake she did was she was trying to, you know, try to power, try to basically how to basically say it, try to, stand up with somebody who's just a bully. I mean, Jessica Andrade is just too strong. And if Claudia would stick with the plan with just out wrestle her, she probably would have won. She's got to submit it because Jessica has a weakness to submissions and Muay Thai specialists. That's how come, Jessica Joanna Jacek beat her. JJ, aka Jabo Jacek. And Ronda, she needs this win. She needs this win because it'll keep her in the UFC. If she loses, we most definitely know that the UFC will drop her. And I feel the same thing with Claudia. If Claudia loses, there's a good chance she might get dropped. Claudia, her last win was over Carla Esparza, and that was like a gimme. Where some people said that mostly she was like lay on top of Carla and rolling on her and really not doing anything, and just give to her. She's in the, I think what it was, I think one thing what Claudia shouldn't have done was run out guys with a new set of boobs. I mean, yes, it's me. Almost speak as I'm the pervy sage also. That yeah, after that loss, she ran out and got herself a new rack. Same thing with Joanna after she lost to Valentina. But if Holly can pull off this upset, good for her. And she'll be the new 135 title. But I don't think 135 is her place. I think, she should go up to 145. It should go ahead and establish the 45 division. You got several great fighters. You just pick up Felicia Spencer. I think Felicia Spencer should be fighting someone like Yana, who's probably a good 145er. She just submitted Megan Anderson a while back. I think there's also talks that maybe they should pick up a couple of fighters like Caitlin Young, who's over at Invicta, Pam Bam Sorensen. I mean, you got Holly and some of these other fighters. You can really grow the featherweight division in the UFC. But the problem is they don't like the idea because they're not pretty, yeah. But here's the thing: is you get more knockouts. You get to see knockouts, and the problem with the women's division, you don't get a lot of knockouts other than like flukes like with Jessica Andrade and Valentina when she knocked out Jessica I mean those are just flukes. Most of the fights in a submission or possibly a decision. That's the most of the time how these fights end for the women's division. So, and Dana White, he's just a moron. He is a moron. And he's just, catering to the white boy, fat boy simps who just like, we don't like these big girls. We don't like these big girls. But you big women fight. You will see knockouts. You don't see nothing about guys like, Francis Ngannou or Stipe Miocic or DC or John Jones knocking somebody out. You don't see nothing about that. But the thing is, women they're held at a higher standard more than men. And I think it's not fair that because they don't look like what you like a Paige Van Zandt or Michelle Waterson or even any one of these chicks that look pretty enough they want to slap on the cover of Sports Illustrated or put on a bikini and put in take pictures with some kind of I don't know magazine or whatever. But these are fighters and they should be treated as fighters. Yes, they are women. Yes, some of them are attractive, but these women take their job seriously like anything. Like one example, also on the card is Luke Rockhold. And Luke Rockhold, he's what you consider a pretty boy. I remember him in his rivalry with Michael Brisbane, the Count. And Rocco's still around. He hasn't been doing too well. They just keep him because he's a pretty face. He's kind of like the guy they put out there when he's basically he might as well give himself become a Chippendale dancer or work or go to or I don't know. Like I said, I'm not really like with the guys. I don't really follow as many guys. I follow the high profile guys more than the other guys. I'm just like we were talking about a little gambling thing the other night on Come Get This Work, but I mostly follow the guys that I know because they're a little higher profile than the guys that are coming up. But Yeah, this is gonna be this is gonna be exciting. As you know, the main event of 239 is gonna be on ESPN Plus. They just, I think they're probably in the middle of doing the prelims. Not prelims, uh, the prelims before the prelims. That's the show where you don't really see it on television. You have to watch it on the UFC's website, and you have the prelims that come tonight, and that's when Markos and Claudia are supposed to fight. And then the main card is going to be on ESPN Plus. I don't have ESPN Plus right now, and my financial status is a little bit strained, so I don't need to spend too much something on watch. So I just, wait till my man Coach Sheridan Harris is posted or something. We're probably gonna have uh, a little tit for tat later that night after the fights ends. I know he's already posting some stuff from the fights, but well, to the ladies, I don't really wish you anything because, like I said, I'm not a fan of either one of you. You know, Holly Holmes got a bye because hey, I don't know why anybody you don't really deserve uh, a title shot just because KO Bet Kahea. I mean, you should have what fair should be fair was she and it should be her and Caitlin Vieira fighting for a number one contendership. It's unfair that someone like Caitlin Vieira, because she's injured, and wasn't that long ago. Holly was on injury list because she was a fat Aspen Ladd. Now Aspen Ladd got to fight GDR, and more likely what's going to happen is that if if GDR beats Aspen Ladd, she'll probably be the next person to get a shot at Amanda Nunes. Even or they'll probably do like this. They're gonna probably throw Caitlin Vieira against GDR, even though she's a better fighter. Even though and well, she is a better fighter, but as a champion, she was a sad excuse of champion when she gave her title because she didn't want to fight Chris Cyborg. You know, so I think what should happen is the UFC should go ahead and say, you know what, let's give you want an opportunity for a title shot, GDR. Okay, you and Chris Cyborg gonna fight. We'll see who will be the next one to fight Amanda Nunes. So that should be I think that's fair. Maybe most especially Chris should get her rematch. She most definitely do. But if they do some bullshit like that, I'll accept it. GDR, she deserves to get her ass whooped for dodging Cyborg in the first place anyway. So it's the man George Page. Like, subscribe. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out.